The CBS Radio Network. Well, did you have a nice weekend, everybody?
Hope you did, and that you're ready for another week of unusual features and exciting events here at the Bob and Ray Show.
First thing we want to announce today, and this will give everyone a full week, that is a work week, to get ready for the big Bob and Ray Company picnic, which will be held this year at Pine Grove State Park this Friday, coming Friday.
Boy, July 31st is the date, ladies and gentlemen.
Think of it.
It's, of course, only for Bob and Ray employees, but it's an event that the public takes to its heart every year.
Well, all the employees, except those who are too far away, for instance, Dave and his announcer, Arthur Schrank, will not be with us at the picnic this year, we don't think.
No, they won't be able to make it.
And some of our units who are overseas. The Great Bird will not be there.
We're busy lining up talent to take part in the entertainment portion of the day's festivities out there at Pine Grove State Park. We've lined up already the Cabot Brothers.
You've all
great act.
Remember the famous Cabot Brothers. The Wellington Family Singers will be there to entertain the Bob and Ray Company employees. Of course, they're famous for folk songs. And then Bob and I are going to present 2 or 3 political tableaus. Bob will portray the grafting mayor, and I will be the crooked bookkeeper. And these are all beautiful tableaus that will be done in the Pine Grove.
They'll be done under the trees there, in the forest, by the lake, and, of course, a feature of the day will be the big clam bake, and we'll be going up to Pine Grove later this week, I think tomorrow, to actually show you what is going on in the way of preparation. It's a big week. Now I'm going to step in here at my Columbia phonograph dealers, and if I may just go through the door. And,
Hi.
Hello there, sir. I'm representing Bob and Ray this evening. I thought maybe you could show us your line of Columbia phonographs, maybe the portable models that you have.
Yes, certainly. Go if you'll step along right over here.
I understand
There's a
Stereo
picture here
1
of
by
my
Columbia.
wife, and these are the kids.
Yes, well, I wanted to see
This calendar that you'll see up over my desk is a beautiful scene of the Grand Teton Mountains in Wyoming.
That is. I've seen
Beautiful.
that same scene before. It's very
Yes.
pretty.
Now, what is it you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, I thought...
Easy terms?
Well, not yet. No, I wanted
all right.
to maybe pick out one of the phonographs. I hear your headquarters for all of them. The prices, I'm told, start as low as $24.95.
That's right. And the consoles, and look, it's crafted like beautiful, fine furniture. See that?
Yes.
Huge console. They start at the amazing low price of $129.95.
And that's for three-dimension stereophonic high-fidelity sound.
And you can play all kinds of records, stereo or otherwise. As a matter of fact, monaural records sound even better on this this beautiful Columbia phonograph.
Well, that's something to keep in mind. And you said something about terms. I could get terms.
Yes, you can. I was only joking with you. There's a phonograph here for every room, every budget, every listening need.
Well, then I would say that my advice to all of our friends is to drop down to their Columbia dealer and see his full line of Columbia phonographs, portables and consoles. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go out to the store first.
Hello.
Natalie Attired, our song sayer.
Yes.
I never really...
It's Eddie.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to say as a song, and who are you going to dedicate it to this week?
I've decided to pick a hit song of current vintage called Round and Round.
Oh, that's one of the new ones. What is the story behind that song before you do it? Could you explain it all?
What?
Can you explain the reason why it was written?
Well, I didn't think that you were going to bring me up here and then throw a curve at me and make a fool out of me.
Au contraire, I was merely trying to find out a little bit about the song. I thought you might know it as a sidelight.
I don't have any idea. It's just another song that was produced, written, or whatever you say.
Well, are you all set to do it then? Eddie already over?
Eddie, are you all ready over there?
I'm already over here.
Where are you ready?
Over here.
Fine. All right.
All right.
Strike it up. Find a wheel and it goes round, round, round as it skims along with a happy sound. As it goes along the ground, 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 till it leads you to the one you love. Then your love will hold you round, round, round. In your heart's a song, with a brand new sound. And your head goes spinning round, 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 'cause you've found what you've been dreaming of. In the night, you see the oval moon going round, round, round in two. And the ball of sun in the day makes a girl and boy want to say, find a ring and put it round, 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 and with ties so strong, the two hearts are bound. Put it on, the one you've found, 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 for you know that this is really love.
Very good. That fits your particular style to a T, I would
I think more than any I've done recently, don't
really
you?
Really has a good meter to it. It scans very well. Well, thank you very much, and have a very pleasant Easter, and we'll see you again next week. And until then, Natalie Attired says,
Won't you say a song this week?
Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Oleahy. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky R. Llewellyn. Once again, we're in the office of Police Chief Fullbottle in River's Mouth as David and Linda try to receive some help in finding Ricky and Uncle Eugene, who have gone to try and convince Fielding and Eddie that they should leave River's Mouth.
You know you did it.
That's the voice of Police Chief Fullbottle as he sits behind his
I don't think
desk.
you're going to sit here and listen to this palaver. Why don't you level with us?
But I tell you, Chief Fullbottle, it's becoming a worrisome thing not hearing from Uncle Eugene and Ricky Llewellyn.
Look, McCalligan, will you take that other guy out of here and
All right.
cut out that talk, please? I'm trying to make a little headway here with Mr. Lovely.
What were you giving him, the third degree?
Yes. Now then, Mr. Lovely,
Yes.
what's that noise?
Well, I think that's the 8-state alarm going out, isn't it?
Oh, I guess that's right. I guess it is. No, that's the pinball machine we picked up over at the Elks Club the other day.
Have you heard anything from any of the 8 states on whether they've seen Ricky and Uncle Eugene?
No, but it's a little too early to expect any answers yet.
I
Lovely.
suppose so, yes.
It'll take 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
But you can rest assured that the forces are all at work now.
Well, that's very good of you, Chief. Chief?
Yes.
Hey, 5, 10, 15, 25.
Okay. Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot, Chief. What was that, Chief Fullbottle?
That was 5, 10, 15, 25.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose we should go back to our home
Wait
on...
just a minute. I put this in my locker.
We should go back and wait for news of your 8-state alarm.
do that, yes. I'll
All right.
go back and wait for news.
And if you hear anything, you know our phone number.
No, I don't. But I could look it up. You're in the book.
Yes, yes.
Goodbye, Lovely.
Goodbye, and thanks again, Chief.
Good luck to you.
So the Chief bids David and Linda return to their home on Honeymoon Lane. Tomorrow, they get news of Ricky and Uncle Eugene, and you'll want to join us when we'll hear the police chief say,
They're not too far from town.
that's in the next episode in The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Word Carr speaking.
5 feet long. Actually, that's a little small for a brontosaurus. We figure she must have been the runt of the litter.
You don't have much actual information about her background, then, is that right?
Easy, girl, easy. Easy, girl. No, we don't have any pedigree papers or anything for her. She's been in the family for a long time. I know that. I think my grandfather brought her over here from the old country.
She's making me a little bit nervous. Does she bite?
No, she's gentle as a lamb. She can even do tricks. Would you like to see one?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Roll over, Mildred. Come on, roll over, girl.
Roll over.
Gee, she rolled right over through the studio window there.
Well, I don't think she hurt herself. She's wagging her tail. She can fetch things, too. Watch this.
Well, I don't believe we really have enough room in here. She's pretty clumsy, I
Here's
noticed.
your rubber ball, Mildred. I'm going to throw it. Go fetch.
Looks as if she fell right through the floor, Mr. Backlash.
Yeah, same thing happened a couple of weeks ago, and she was on You Asked For It. We had to fish her out of the basement with a block and tackle.
Well, I guess they just don't put up office buildings as strong as they used to.
That's the way I figure it. Well, I guess I better get downstairs and see if she's all right.
Well, thanks for putting on your little demonstration here, and it's time now to go back inside to Radio Central.
Thank you, Bob and Ray. And you're on the monitor beacon. Take one.
In just a few minutes, the various local winners who will be spelling off against one another to find out the quarterfinal champion. Of course, we'll go on to the finals. Ray, are they all here?
Yeah, they're all here.
Two gentlemen and a lady, I understand. And on the cards, I see that, first of all, from Moline, Illinois, the Midwest winner, Foster Sprang. Mr. Sprang?
Thank you.
Foster, you had some stiff competition out in Moline, did you?
I had very stiff competition.
Mm-hmm. You won out, of course, over how many other contestants?
12.
12 finalists out there in Moline. That contest was held on Thursday and Friday, the 14th and 15th of February.
1 minute. Not so fast. What were those dates again?
Thursday and Friday, the 14th and 15th of February. It's
That's right.
unimportant.
But just don't skip over those things.
No,
They're
that's
too
not-
important to me.
Finals were
Maybe
held
to
out
you
there.
they're not important.
All right, Foster.
But on those days, I won the regional championship.
Right on. That's why you were brought here to New York, and today
Righto.
you're going to be
Righto.
today you're going to be competing for the quarterfinal title,
One
right?
of those flashy interlocutors, eh?
Now, if you just sit down over there, we'll meet our next quarterfinalist, hailing from Moose Luck, McGuntacook, Maine, Leonard Yock. Leonard, how is the competition up there, Mr. Yock?
Well, it wasn't too stiff. There were a lot of dumb ones that participated, and I was about the smartest.
You won out handily, huh?
Oh, very easily. They were very, very dumb.
What do you do up there in Moose Luck, McGuntacook?
Fish.
You're a guide, are you?
No, I just fish a lot and sell the fish.
Oh, you're a fishmonger, in other words.
I don't know what that means, but I catch fish and I sell it in town. I have a little fish market. It's fresh fish, mostly.
Very good.
Landlocked salmon and perch,
Do you feel as if...
largemouth bass.
Hornpout?
No.
Do you feel as if you're in a good mood for spelling today?
Well, I don't know. These two other winners here seem to be pretty hep.
Well, speaking of that, we haven't met the third one, and I'd like to introduce this time from Foaming Springs, Texas, the Great Southwest quarterfinalist Martha Crump-Postlethwaite.
How do you do?
Martha, you were telling me at breakfast this morning, we met down in the studio cafeteria and had a very interesting discussion. You're telling me that this is your first trip to New York City.
Yes, it is. It's the first time, actually, I've been out of the state of Texas in my life. I'd prefer you wouldn't smoke because it makes me sneeze a lot.
Well, I just lit this cigarette. I hate to put it out now. It's it kind of wastes it.
Well, all right.
I'll try not to blow the smoke in your
Well,
direction.
mind if I stand back here while you talk to me?
No, that's all right. If you
Fine.
stand right in back there, then it'll go the other way. Martha...
Wait a minute, let me move the microphone so she can talk. Bob.
All right, fine. How's that?
That's fine.
Good. Now, do you remember what the word was that you spelled to win the Great Southwest Championship?
Yes, Wednesday.
Wednesday was the word?
Yes.
And with that, you walked off with the honors.
You know, that's a tricky word. It's actually Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah, I know.
It's tricky, but I knew it. When they asked me that, all the judges looked at each other, thought I'd trip on it. But I didn't.
I can imagine that you were pretty happy when you won that championship,
Yes,
huh?
I was.
Have you met Mr. Sprang and Mr. Yock?
Yes, and
two other-
Mr. Sprang is rather difficult
I think
to get
he's
along with.
maybe irritable before we
Mr.
get
York,
through.
however, appears to be dumb, so I don't
Very
have any
pleasant.
fears along that line.
Well, there you've met them, our 3 quarterfinalists from varied places in the United States. And we're going to have some music, and then we'll get to our first round of words, which have been chosen scientifically and which will be picked at random from the big barrel over there. And you know how we play the game, I guess. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes.
Here to help our listeners is the eminent New York psychiatrist, Dr. Rupert Llewellyn Hume. Is there some sort of psychiatric convention going on here in town?
No, that's my junior G-Man badge. Just came in the mail this morning. Isn't it a dandy?
Yes, it's very nice.
I got it for 3 box tops and 10 cents in coin.
I see. Well, we have quite a bit of mail piled up here this week.
Gives me authority to arrest any bad guys I run across.
Mm-hmm. First letter is from a man in Charlotte, North Carolina. He writes, I have somehow gotten the idea that our postman is a foreign agent who's out to get me. Every time he tries to make a delivery at our house, I drive him off with a shotgun. As a result, I've missed getting my relief check for the last 3 months, and I'm in dire financial straits. What should I do?
Well, arrange to pick up your checks at the post office.
Well, now, Doctor, I don't think that advice is going to help this man. I mean, with his basic problem.
Yes, his basic problem is to get his check without falling into the clutches of that foreign agent. The postman on my route is a spy, too. I've been picking up my mail at the post office for years. Works out fine that way.
Very well.
You.
Now, the next one here is from a lady in Youngstown, Ohio.
I didn't know you had a bowling alley upstairs in the studio here.
A bowling alley? There's no bowling alley in this building.
I hear the sound of pins crashing. Must be on the floor right above. You.
Well, this lady in Ohio, she writes, I insist on wearing my husband's glasses, even though I can't see a thing through them. I lurch around the house, knocking over lamps and things, and my husband says my actions convince him that I'm a complete loony. Do you suppose he could be right?
Yes.
All right. Now, here's one from a man in Jamestown, New York.
Boy, another strike. That fellow up there's got quite a string going.
Dr. Hume, there's no bowling alley upstairs.
Fella's got to find the old groove to get them there in the pocket every time.
Yes. This letter from upstate New York, the man writes, I'm a happy-go-lucky sort of chap who never has a care in the world. My friends tell me that no well-balanced person could have such an attitude. I mean, with the world in its present state. Now, what can I do to make myself more gloomy and thereby achieve good mental health?
How about that? Another strike. That means a 300 game.
Doctor, we don't have a bowling alley here.
That's one for the books. I'll see you next week.
Where are you going? We're not through yet.
Drinks are always on the house after a 300 game. Goodbye.
For the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Olehi. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Back home in River's Mouth, David and Linda are awaiting word after the police sent out an 8-state alarm for Ricky and Uncle Eugene. And in the living room, they hear?
Well, I don't know what we're going to do next.
Well, we should be getting some word from Police Chief Fullbottle soon. I only wish Ricky and Uncle Eugene hadn't gone to Fielding's hideout. I think that was a bad idea. It was a bad deal.
What did you say? I was talking to the sound man.
I say, I think it was the telephone. Hello.
Hello.
This is David Lovely, River's Mouth.
Oh, I have the wrong number.
All right. You haven't heard any... Oh. I was going to ask him if he'd heard anything about...
Hello.
Hello, David Lovely, River's Mouth.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's this, please?
Ricky Llewellyn.
Oh, we were just talking about you, wondering why we hadn't had any word from you.
Well, we're tied up to 2 chairs.
Well, it's good to know that you're all right anyway.
Yeah. How's everything?
Fine.
Hungry?
I'll call the police department and have them cancel the 8-state alarm then.
Well, we don't know
Get
where...
off the telephone, please.
Well, wait at the moment.
I can't call them if you're talking, Ricky.
I know, but I don't know where we are.
Police Chief Fullbottle said get in touch with him right away. as soon as we heard anything.
Yeah, but we don't know where...
He sent out an 8-state alarm, and it'll cost a lot of money to the taxpayers if they go through with it.
Yes, sir, I understand that, Dave.
So, thinking of the taxpayers, I'll call him and have him call it off.
But why don't...
Now, what is the police department's
Who
number?
was that?
Ricky Llewellyn. They're all right.
Well, where are they?
What's that?
Where are they?
Who?
Ricky Llewellyn.
He was just on the telephone.
Oh.
So David unintentionally hangs up the receiver before finding out where Ricky L. Llewellyn is. Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Linda say,
Well, I think that's idiotic.
That's in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovely, girl intern. Word L. Carr speaking.
Time for Speak Your Mind. Here to help our listeners with their mental and emotional problems is the eminent New York psychiatrist, Dr. Rupert Llewellyn Hume. I notice that you're carrying your couch with you today, Doctor. Are you on your way to make a house call, or...?
No, they're redecorating my office. I just didn't know what to do with the furniture while the painters are in there. My secretary has taken the desk and filing cabinet home with her, and I'm taking the couch.
I see. Well, we have a lot of mail piled up here from people with emotional problems.
Yes.
I think we might get right along to the first letter, if
Yes.
that's okay with you. It's from a lady out in Sioux City, Iowa, and she writes, I go to bingo games almost every night of the week, and I often find myself yelling bingo even when my numbers are scattered all over the board. Naturally, this gets the promoter of the game pretty mad. Once, he even hit me with a stuffed panda that was being given away as a prize. What can I do about all this?
Well, switch to blackjack and always stick with 18 and take a hit with 16.
Well, now, Doctor, that doesn't sound like very good advice to give to a person who's suffering from an obvious compulsion
Well,
here.
those bingo games are always rigged for the house. Blackjack's the obvious answer, and let's get along to the next letter then.
Okay.
Yes.
This is from a man in Port Washington, Wisconsin.
I didn't know you had a circus sideshow operating out in the hall there.
A circus sideshow?
Yes, I can hear the baka very clearly in here. That fire-eating act he's talking about now should be a real dilly.
Well, Doctor, there couldn't possibly be a sideshow operating here in this mutual building. Now, how about this man in Wisconsin?
Yes.
He writes, my hobby is saving chewing gum wrappers, and last month, my drive to get a big collection became so great that I went to the factory where they make the gum and stole several cartons of wrappers as they were being delivered from the printing house. I was caught. Now my lawyer wants to enter a plea of insanity. Do you agree with his reasoning?
Yes.
Okay. Now here's one from a lady in Pocatello, Idaho.
Now the baka's telling about having the fattest man in the world in his show. I'd sure like to see that.
Well, now, Doctor, there is no possible way that there could be a sideshow barker outside this studio.
Oh, they've got a tattooed lady, too. I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid. Do you have any free tickets to the show? People in radio and television are always getting free tickets to things like
Well,
that.
Doctor, there are no free tickets because there is no show. Now, I think you're just imagining it. Now, this letter from Idaho, the woman writes, I have a college education, but for some reason, I never can remember how to spell my own name, which happens to be Jane Doe. I keep being dragged in on bad check charges and having all sorts of other embarrassing things happen because of this mental block. Can you help me? Doctor, where are you going?
He's talking about a human skeleton now. I've always wanted to see one of those. If you don't give me your free tickets, maybe someone else around here has some.
Well, we'd be glad to give you any tickets we had, Doctor, but there's no sideshow
How
going
about you in the control room? Do you have any tickets to the sideshow you're not going to use? No, I guess not. Sound men, are they giving out tickets to the sideshow anywhere that you know of?
You've been listening to Speak Your Mind. Be sure to join us next time when Dr. Rupert Llewellyn Hume will solve more of the mental and emotional problems confronting our listeners.
What is this, another round already? Yes, I think we have time for a second round here if we move real quickly. Winners go first. Mr. Sprang, will you select your word?
I'll reach in the
first
barrel.
round, and you're ahead so far. Your word, sir, for the glory of Moline, Illinois.
Wait, just a moment. Didn't he look at that word before he gave it to you?
Well, I think he might have glanced at it, but he's going to hear it
I wanted to be
anyway
sure there
right
was
now.
writing on it. I didn't want to give you a blank.
Just checking there, Mrs.
Oh, that's
Bostwick.
all right.
Your word, sir, is top, as the top of anything, or to spin a top.
Top.
Did you hear the word?
Yes. T-O-P.
T-O-P is correct. All right. Real quickly now, Mrs. Postlewaite, if you'll hand me your word.
All right.
I'll read it to you.
I want to be sure there's writing on
Mr.
that.
Sprang is too. Oh, don't look at that, Miss Sprang.
Well, wait just a moment.
No, I'm going to throw that word out. Will you take another one and
well,
just hand it to me?
You let Mr. Sprang
Let me
look to see
here
if
it
there
is.
was writing on it.
Your word is concatenation, the act of concatenating.
What does the act of concatenating mean?
All I have on my card here is that definition.
Concatenation.
See?
What?
See?
C.
O.
O.
N.
N. C-O-N.
All right, right so far, Miss Postlewaite.
Cat.
C-A-T.
C-A-T. Nation.
Right. Okay, you win that one. You answered it correctly.
Wait a minute.
Now you're tied
She just
with
pronounced
Mrs.
it back to
Sprang,
you.
and it's time for 5 minutes of news while we get some new words into the barrel. And then we'll be back with more of the Bob and Ray Show.
I just want to step in here for a moment.
Yes.
Didn't you permit her just to pronounce the word? She didn't spell the nation part of concatenation.
I think she knew it anyway. I took
I knew it
I took
anyway.
it for.
Oh, yeah, I didn't want to take the time.
Let's go on to Mr. Yock and see if you can get up with the others. Mr. Yock, you're one behind here, and you'll select your word. Hand it to me there. We'll see if you can give us a right or a wrong spelling of inheritable.
Inheritable? Let me see that again. Make sure there's writing on it.
Inheritable.
Yeah, there's writing on that. What's that?
I'm not making them up, I assure you,
What's that
Mr.
letter?
Yock. That's an I. That's the first letter.
Okay. I-N-H. And what was the next one?
Oh, I can't help you like that, Mr. Yock.
Is this serious?
No, he was just trying to get a little hint there, Mr. Sprang, that's all.
Inheritable. I-N-H-B-M-S-O.
No, you went off there after the H, I think. No, that's the wrong. No, I'm sorry, it's too late now. The buzzer has sounded.
P.
No. All right, it's up to you now, Mr. Sprang. You can win the whole thing on this word that... now, you've had a couple of pretty easy ones, haven't you, sir?
Well...
Let's hope your luck holds out.
It's only easy if you know, but
yeah.
I don't think camp would be easy if I didn't know how to spell it.
All right.
Anything is easy if you know it.
Well, Mr. Yock is out, as you know, and two wrong answers, and so it's up to you and Mrs. Postlewaite. If you answer this one correctly, and Mrs. Postlewaite loses her next word, then you're the winner. However, if it's the other way around, she is the winner. Here we go. And I guess we better let ladies go first, huh? Miss Postlewaite?
All right.
You're in a tough spot here. All right, Al, that's enough. Will you hand the word to me, please? Oh, not much writing on this one. The word is ma, an endearing term for a female parent. Ma.
Oh, that's M.A.
M.A. is right. Good work, congratulations.
Wait a moment.
Now you're tied with Mr. Sprang.
She's tied.
She has two correct, and you
what
do
kind of a word is that?
Ma.
Anyone would know how to spell ma.
Well, that's the way they come out, Mr. Sprang. Remember, you had camp and top for your first two words.
But
will you reach into the barrel and take your final word, please?
Oh, shoe's on the other foot now, isn't it?
All right, let's have good sportsmanship above all here. That's the reason for this. Here it is. Your word, Mr. Sprang, is infundibuliform.
In a pig's eye. Oh, no, you're not going to get away with this.
Meaning
funnel shape. Oh, no.
You
give her mine, you give me that. Oh, no. You're not going to get away with this.
You have to take these words as you select them, Mr. Sprang.
Oh, now look at him square.
The shoe is on the other foot, Miss Postlewaite.
Yes, it's on the other foot now, isn't it?
Right. Do you want to attempt to spell
No,
it?
I do not.
I
do not want to attempt it. I just want to carve her home.
All right, then.
This thing was rigged.
By default, it's Mrs. Postlewaite who wins.
Phony.
And
why don't you dry up, Sprang?
I know
didn't complain.
Mr. Yock was a good loser. Mr. Sprang, unfortunately, doesn't possess the same qualities. But, Mrs. Postlewaite, you have been a good winner, and our congratulations to you. What's that?
What do I win?
Well, you have your whole week here in New York at your expense, and then you'll be going back down to Foaming Springs, Texas, I think.
At my own expense, I think, isn't it? Well,
and,
thank you very much.
Certainly hope you've had a good time while you've been up here, and I hope we'll be seeing you in the finals, which will be held next summer.
Thank you.
Now
for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Oleahy. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. We're back at the lovely house now after yesterday's episode in which David talked to Ricky L. Llewellyn but didn't discover where he was phoning from. It's a moment later as we hear.
What now, I wonder? I have no idea what's going to happen next.
I suppose we might try to get the operator to trace that call, thereby finding out where Ricky called from.
Oh, I'm going to go downtown. I'll see you later, Dave.
All right.
Dave.
And as Linda leaves the house, David hears a familiar voice, that of his long-lost black sheep brother Fielding, peering through the dining room window. Be sure and join us on Monday when we'll hear Fielding say through the dining room window,
Psst, Dave.
That's Monday in the next exciting episode in The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Word Carr speaking.
One Feller's Family. Brought to you by Tanglefoot, the greatest name in flypaper. Today's episode, Visit to the Dentist, taken from book 73, chapters XXVI. Entitled Visit to the Dentist. It's a little before lunchtime at the Butcher household. And we find the Father Butcher sitting in the back pantry, counting up cans of peanut butter and checking on the milk supply. He looks up anxiously and calls to Fanny in the kitchen.
Fanny?
Yes?
Have you seen my copy of Chi-Chi-Uchi?
The copy of what?
My record, Fanny, of Chi-Chi-Uchi.
No, I haven't seen it.
I was checking the milk supply and wondering where my phonograph records were, too.
Oh, yes.
The records of Chi-Chi-Uchi are the Mariners.
Oh, somebody wanted to come in from out in the alley there.
Yes. Yes. I don't know who it was, Fanny.
Some people are real funny like that, aren't they?
Well, Chibi. Yes. Fanny, I've been thinking maybe today would be a good day to go downtown and careful, Fanny.
Well, if you go downtown, why don't you go to the dentist?
Well, I thought I might include that in my plans, too. I was going downtown to do shopping. Yes. To buy a few more phonograph records.
Of Chi-Chi-Uchi?
Oh, Chi-Chi-Uchi and other things, too. Teddy Bear's Picnic. I broke the first copy of Teddy Bear's Picnic.
You sure love your records, Father.
Yes, well, an older man has got to have some interest, Fanny.
Oh, this water's too hot, I think.
Yes, Fanny. Yes.
Your tooth still bother you, Father?
Yes, hasn't been bothering me too much lately, Fanny. It certainly hasn't bothered my speech.
Well, it does affect your speech now. You can't say that, in all honesty. It does.
Well, once in a while, if I have a particularly difficult word. But most of the time, I'm able to
to say most anything.
Did you look in the mailbox, see if there's a letter from Jack or somebody?
I thought you told me that...
Yeah, that does it.
Here, hand me that dishwiper. I'll give you a hand, Sandy.
All right.
Confounded plumbing anyway. So I thought while I was downtown, too, I might get some more rose bushes.
If you buy another rose bush, if we have one, we have 50 roses.
I'll never have too many rose bushes, Sandy.
You can have too many. You can reach the point of diminishing return.
You think, then, that we have too many rose bushes around the house?
I know we do.
Yes. Well, perhaps you're right. I think I'll change my suit and drive downtown. Maybe while I'm there.
Oh, will you watch what you're doing? And you can't drive downtown. Your license is run out. I told you to go renew it.
That's very true.
You have been listening to One Feller's Family, brought to you by Tanglefoot, the greatest name in flypaper. Today's episode, Visit to the Dentist, was taken from Book 73, Chapter XXDII. Pages 32, 33, 34, except for the last two sentences. One Fellow's Family is written and produced by T. Wilson Messy. This is a Messy production.
This is Radio Wind. All right.
Blue and gold Fields label. Viewers with this container cast in purest platinum. It could not ask a prouder name. Okay, Harry.
Yes, Peels is cool brewed. That's a special process we use to bring out more of the flavor.
The flavor, the warmth, the mellowness, the heartening taste of Fields. Unmatched by any other beer in the annuals of time.
Well, that's not the...
Each of these beautiful quart containers yields 5 brimming glasses of this magic brew.
Yes, it's cheaper in the long run.
Cheaper? Harry, do you think of economy when you go to buy a Rembrandt?
Well, I just...
Fields is the only beer in the world brewed with TLC.
TLC? What's that?
Tender, loving care.
And now, the American Federation of Sheep Herders, representing 14,000 lonely people just like yourself, presents another episode of The Gathering Dusk, the heartwarming story of a girl who's found that misfortune is the key to unhappiness. As we look in on the Bessinger household today, Edna is resting on the drain pipe just outside the bedroom window. The door opens and Mr. Schlewenke, the village optometrist, enters the room.
Oh, it's you, Optometrist Lewenke. I hadn't expected you to come so soon.
Well, we don't get many emergency house calls in the optometry game. In fact, I don't think I've ever had one before.
Well, I'm surprised to hear that. I had an uncle who was an optometrist, and he was out on the road most of the time. He tried to peddle glasses in rural areas.
Well, the profession frowns on that type of operation these days.
Well, Uncle Jerome worked awfully hard. I can see him now, trudging down the dusty road with that big eye chart strapped to his back.
All sounds pretty unethical to me.
Oh, he pulled some fast ones on the yokels, no doubt about that. He used to examine their eyes and then sell them a pair of dime store glasses for $3. That was his standard price, $3.
Well, he'd be put in jail if he tried anything like that these days.
He left an estate of $4 million.
I don't understand how he kept his license to practice.
Well, they did try to revoke his license once, but they found out he had never had one. So there really was no legal action they could take against him. He was a slick one.
Well, Miss Bessinger, I'm sure you didn't call me over here to talk about your uncle. You said it was an emergency.
Yes, it certainly is, Optometrist Lewanky. My sight is failing terribly. I'm just hoping that strong lenses of some kind can save me from total blindness.
Well, I'm certainly going to do everything I can. Just what seems to be wrong with your vision?
Well, it's just that everything is going black. Objects are getting dimmer and dimmer. Here it is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'll bet I can't see 5 feet out the window.
Well, it's not 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Miss Bessinger. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. No wonder you can't see out the window.
I know you're just trying to cheer me up, Optometrist Lewanky, but I'm still able to read the clock there on the nightstand, and it's 5 minutes to 3.
Well, the clock must have stopped, Miss Edna. Here, let me turn on the light. Now, can't you see better?
My lands, yes. Well, this is wonderful, Optometrist Lewanky. You've really taken a terrible worry off my mind, and I feel as if I'm no longer standing in the gathering dusk.
Next, the life and loves of Linda Lovely. Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Oleahy. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. Episode, David had just about decided to accept the nomination for president when a telephone call arrived at campaign headquarters advising him not to run. Now, in the hubbub of activity at headquarters, he puts the receiver down and turns to Mr. Berquist. We hear?
Well, what was it?
Just a telephone call for me, Mr. Berquist. I think I'll be leaving now.
Here's a rough draft of the speech. You want to look it over?
Wait just a minute, Ricky.
I
Mr.
just wrote it.
I've been thinking, since I came in here 5 minutes ago, all excited about running for president, I've changed my mind. I definitely am not going to run.
Not going to run?
Well, now, not going to run.
A minute ago, you said you were.
I know, but
You're not going to run.
I've been thinking about it all the time, and
Here's a rough draft of your speech.
oh, it's very nice.
Well, you can use it either to decline the nomination or to accept.
Oh, I see. I just changed one word there.
Just accept, change accept to decline. And the whole thing fits.
Hey, that's pretty neat, Ricky.
Don't worry.
Yes, that's very good thinking on your part.
Well, I didn't know what to do about it. See?
Well, I think Mr. Berquist can make the announcement, and we'd better just go along home, Linda. I think it would be safer. I think it would be better that way.
What do you mean, safer?
Yeah, that sounded kind of funny, Dave, coming from you.
Was that phone call another one of those wackadola calls you've been getting?
What phone call, Mr. Berquist?
The one that you had just a few moments ago.
Did I have a phone call?
Oh, now, let's not beat around the bush.
Come off it.
Get off of that, Dave.
Come off it, Dave. I mean...
What do you mean? I don't remember any telephone call.
But you just had a phone call and you paled visibly and hung up the receiver.
Oh, no, that was a call from Mr. Furphy, my druggist.
What did he want?
Oh, something about a prescription I left there last year. Come on, let's go back to our house and have something to eat. It's getting on toward dinner time.
Well, I just hope you know what you're doing.
Everything okay, Mr. Berquist? You'll make the announcement?
I'll make the announcement that you're not running.
Right.
Okay.
Come on, Linda.
There's our car over there.
Boy, it's a hot day here in Riversmouth, county seat.
Hello.
What?
This is your car, ain't it?
Yes. What are you doing sitting there at this steering wheel?
I'm going to take you folks for a little ride.
Hey, that'll be fun on a day like today. Get a little breeze.
Oh, that's wonderful,
Get in
sir.
there, Ricky. Come on, Linda.
But I don't understand. You're sitting here driving my automobile.
It's not for you to understand, lovely. Sit back and relax. We've got a long ride.
And so our friends in their own car are being driven by a stranger for a long ride. What does this mean? And does it have anything to do with David's declining the nomination? Be sure and listen tomorrow when we'll hear Ricky Llewellyn say,
Hey, come on, sir. I want to go home.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Lovely, Word Carr speaking. And it's crosstown now to the Bob and Ray Gourmet Club for our regular weekend festivities surrounding the opening of a famous person sandwich surprise, and our reporters Claude and Clyde.
Hello, everybody. A pleasant welcome to the Bob and Ray Gourmet Club. It's a highly elevated crowd here today, sitting...
What do you mean by that, Claude?
I mean they're happy, waiting in great anticipation for the guest sandwich to arrive on the premises.
A great many celebrities are gathered here at the various tables. I see Walter Cronkite there at the table 43 with Walter O'Keefe and Walter O'Malley discussing entertainment and sports.
Pleased to announce the presence again of Sonali Dasgupta, who is at table 12 with Van Cliburn and Henrik Van Voorhees.
There's Walter Winchell and Cy Walter at the piano, and Walter McGee.
I think there is a stir now at the rear of the huge dining room. Yes.
The sandwich has arrived, is being borne down the center aisle of the Gourmet Club atop a purple pillow trimmed with fringe by the knickerbockered attendants.
Watch where you're going,
just
attendant.
a moment. Our lovely assistant Elaine will hand us the envelope bearing the name of
Might point out for the first time that one of our guests definitely tried to trip the page as he came down the center aisle. I'd like to warn all the members here present that that will not be tolerated again.
We know who you are, and we will be on the lookout for any further disturbance. We have the envelope here. Before opening the sandwich, we will announce the name. It is the sandwich of Nick Lucas and his guitar.
And a generous round of applause greets the name of Nick Lucas and his guitar sandwich. Here, we will open it. It's in a brown paper bag and wrapped in a waxed paper. The rye bread sandwich, it's a rye bread filling. I can't point out that the caraway seeds have been removed with the sterile pair of tweezers.
It is a filling of grape jelly and cream cheese, I think, Claude, as I can see it seeping through some of the holes in the bread there. So there it is, and our thanks to Nick Lucas for helping us play our radio game.
Sandwich
surprise.
Of course, will be put on display now for the members here present to walk by slowly and to look at it. On that very pleasant note now, everyone up dancing, we return you to our studios.
The Bob and Ray Vacation
I never
contest.
win anything.
Well, you have a good chance to win
I
this, sir.
do not. I never win anything.
Well,
I've
no,
never known anybody to win anything.
Oh, here now, listen to this.
Oh, don't give me that.
Listen here now. Wouldn't you like to win a wonderful vacation
Sure.
at the Americana, the Hotel
Sure.
of the Americas at Bal Harbor, Miami Beach?
Sure,
Florida?
but I never win anything.
Yeah, look.
Nobody in my family ever won anything.
Look, wait a minute. Conjure up a picture
Yeah.
of Mr. and Mrs. U.
Yeah.
Get this now.
I got the
Mr. and Mrs. U relaxing at the oceanfront Americana in a 10-acre setting of Floridian splendor.
Yeah, sitting there with about 20 cents in our pockets. Sure.
The Americana represents...
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait. This is all expenses paid. The Americana represents the ultimate in taste. Combines the charm, the atmosphere...
Somebody say, hey, let's all go downtown for a big, thick steak. I couldn't go.
Now, you'll be flown to Miami.
I have to say no. I've just eaten.
You'll be flown to Miami aboard the Magic Slipper coach of Northeast Airlines. Now, how do you enter this contest? You're asking right now, and I'm going to tell you. You write a letter of 50 words or less.
Those are the ones I never win.
Well, now, wait. Here now.
Because I'm not a letter writer by nature. I never write home. I never write to anybody.
You have a very good chance here, believe me. You write 50 words or less and say why you think you and your wife, or if you're a bride, you and your husband, are deserving of this vacation. You send it to Vacation Contest Box 33, Mutual Broadcasting System.
And now comes all that about neatness, original. Boy, I'm not neat and I'm not original, and I'm not very apt of thought.
Mutual is located at 1440 Broadway in New York City. New York 18, New York. That's Box 33, Vacation Contest. You have to be neat, you have to be original, and have aptness of thought.
Yeah.
And it closes May 31st. You got about 2 weeks, so send that letter in. Tell why you and your husband or wife need a vacation. And for the runners-up, the next 20 best letters, we'll send a Lemont perfume-locked atomizer by Coty. I'm reading it better now. And Coty's new perfumed curl set hairspray. It perfumes every ringlet with famous Lemont by Coty.
How's that Lemont pronounced?
Lemont. So will you get busy on your letter?
I won't, but I'll tell somebody. Yeah, I know.
Haven't I stirred your interest?
You have. I'd love to win, but I know my luck is so poor that I just never win anything.
Well, you might have a good chance here. You can't tell.
I imagine you have thousands of entries in a thing like that.
Oh, I imagine so. But you may have some luck.
Thousands and thousands. Probably you might never even be open.
At last count, I think.
I know you fellows run contests on radio.
Last count for 45, I think.
I've never known anyone to win anything. Even those cookie contests, those prize cook-offs.
Well, now, just as a personal example, I won a silver dollar on a Man in the Street program once.
You did?
I was 10 years old.
Did you know the answer?
Yeah.
Were you just cute?
No, I knew the answer.
Yeah?
Well, you see, there is a chance for you.
Well, if I can think up 50 words, maybe.
You don't have to use 50 if you can make your point in less than 50.
Well, I know.
That will help the judges.
I know because and if and the street I live on.
Well, now, for instance, let's just take an idea off the top of your head. You and your wife need a vacation in Florida because. Now, what would you say there?
Because I live on Parker Street and my phone.
Well, you don't have to go into all those details. I mean, that wastes words.
Well, those are the words I know, fella.
Well,
home run, I know home run.
Well, why don't you say we'd like a vacation because it would be like a home run at Yankee Stadium.
What stadium mean?
Oh, I tell you, why don't you stay around?
Wait a minute, how do you make an S?
Well, it's like a snake, you know.
Why?
You know an S-turn? You know that S-turn when you go out Route 70 and you turn left?
Yes.
Well, that's an S-turn there.
Yes, it is a very nice turn.
No, S. It's an S-turn.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's an S.
Oh, okay.
Now, what other letters do you want to know?
Well, I think I know how to make the others. Except a V.
Well, have you ever seen a
V-turn?
Well, there are V-turns. We call them hairpin turns. Have you ever seen a hairpin?
Hairpin, I know.
Okay,
I know how to spell it.
Well, you don't have
I could draw a picture of it.
Well, that would be close enough to a V.
Okay.
Now, any other letters?
Thank you very much, Bob and Ray.
I'm glad I piqued your curiosity.
Certainly. Bye.
Go ahead.
Oh. See, that's the hand I write with, too.
Now, for the many fans who wait for her on the radio, we present once again the interesting story, The Life and Loves of Linda Lovely, Girl Intern. Written for radio by Ole Olehi. It stars Marcia Van Alshot as Linda, Sherman L. Sturdley as David, with Hugo L. Summerstopper as Uncle Eugene, and Webley L. Webster as Ricky L. Llewellyn. friends discovered that there was a spare parts shop for the helicopter on the South Atlantic island in which they'd landed. Quickly, on the direction of the chief, they made their way to it. Now, as they stand looking up at the signs, we hear...
Well, what's that sign there? It says helicopter spare part shop.
That must be the place, then.
Well, let's go on in and talk to the drover.
Yes. What kind of a spare part are we going to tell him we're looking for?
I don't know.
Well,
What is wrong with it, anyway?
Maybe he'd come over and look at the helicopter himself.
All right, that's a good idea. Well, let's go in.
How do you do?
Yes, sir?
I'm David Lovely from River's Mouth. This is Linda, my wife, her cousin Lord Windesmere, our next-door neighbor Ricky Llewellyn, and our Uncle Eugene.
How do you do?
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 Yes, how do you do?
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 I think there was one extra how do you do in there.
I'm sorry.
We have a helicopter down the beach which is disabled, and
I see.
they told us about your shop, so we came right over.
What kind of a spare part will you be needing?
Well, we were just discussing that.
I have wings, I have bolts, I have seats, I have doors. I have gasoline, I have spark plugs, I have distributor caps, and so forth.
You got wheels?
What are you, a wise guy?
No, I just thought maybe we need some new wheels for it.
We don't need any new wheels. And why would he be a wise guy just for asking you that?
Yes, why would he?
That's my business.
I tell you what, maybe if you would come over and look at the helicopter, you could tell what spare part we need.
Where is it located?
Just down the beach, a little way.
What part of the beach?
Over there by the lifeguard stand.
Is it up near the big wall?
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid you couldn't get me up there.
Well, we've already seen what's behind the big wall.
It's a 40-foot sparrow.
Oh, you know about it then?
You bet I know about it. Couldn't get me near there. That sparrow's been there for some 20, 30 years.
Well, how are we going to get the helicopter fixed?
Well, could you bring the helicopter down here?
Well, I suppose we could, although maybe we could get the natives to help us, Linda, do you think?
Well, I don't know. I
Yes.
could go ask them and find out.
Would you do that, and we'll wait here for you?
All right.
Really nice of her to run that errand. I think I'll just sit down in this bucket seat while we wait.
How long are you planning on staying here at the island?
Only long enough to get the helicopter fixed and get out of here.
I see.
Right. So to get the helicopter out of here.
Yes, they said they'd help us bring the helicopter down here.
Oh, good. Well, we'd all better go up there and start moving it then.
Okay, I'll be right here. Good luck to you.
Thank you. And so, our friends received the help they want from the manager of the helicopter spare parts shop. Tomorrow, they bring the ship to his shop, and we'll hear him say...
Wait a minute. This is a stolen helicopter. Don't anybody move.
That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode in the life and loves of Linda Love.